First and foremost, man, we on TikTok right now, man, and you know, normally I share my story, you know, my journey, you know, from a youth to now, you know, my incarceration, things I went through, and so you know, I wanted to have a conversation with you just so I could, you know, introduce you to my followers, man, and also like to let them know like how impactful you was in my life. You know, you was like always a big brother figure, and this is not scripted. You know, even though we planned to have this conversation, but I just really want to say I appreciate you. You know, you've always been, you know, one way, always been genuine. And, you know, I thank you, man, because you also, you know, you was there for me. And I know I could be annoying and persistent at times, but even though you were a counselor, you always took time, man, to, you know, to hear me out, man, to give me that floor, that space to you know, to share with you what I'm going through. But long story short, mission of the day, man, and I thought it would be very, very impactful to share what we talked about in regards to like when I was telling you how I had a conversation with my boy, and he told me he apologized for because he felt like it was his fault why I end up, you know, in prison and getting shot, and we had a conversation about never knowing, you know, who we impact by our choices. And you shared something, man, that like it kind of touched me, man. I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing that, you know, with my followers and my viewers or not, you know. You told me you had a conversation with the mother of your daughter and how.
Oh man, yeah. So just even before I go into that, right, I just look at my past, right, and understand that the things that I left behind, right, I did a lot of damage to my community, right. So I left a lot of landmines that even today, 22 and a half years later of being incarcerated, that people are still stepping on because of the decisions that I made, right? Even way back then, and how impactful that is today.
Right.
The things that I encouraged and did everything like that, right? And promoted, how it affects people today, right? So we talking about being impactful, right? So I called my daughter's mom and we was talking, and she was telling me my daughter want to write a book, you know, about all of our lives, and then she gracious enough and gifted me the privilege of giving me some insight of what she'd been through. So when I was incarcerated, man, due to this crime I committed that landed me 50 years to life in prison, she was talking about the aftermath of how individuals, right, was pulling up on her, right? For those who don't know, pulling up, right, I'm talking about somebody walked up to her, she handed my daughter off to her friend, and they put a gun to her head, right? And was like, where he at? Mind you, I'm incarcerated, right? But when she told me, man, it hit me like somebody just socked me in my face, because I never knew she'd been through that, and how she processed it, right? She just stuffed it down and made it seem like that was normal because we both was in that lifestyle.
Right.
And there's no way that anybody should walk up to somebody and put a gun to somebody's head for somebody else, let alone for them, right? And so it really hurt me, and I had to apologize to her, right? Because it seemed like I made that normal for her, even though it was her decision, but the influence that I had, right, bringing her around certain individuals, exposing her to certain elements, right? Man, that ain't normal. So that felt real bad. And then I started thinking about, right, the impact that this all had on my daughter, even at a young age.
Yeah.
Right? She still remembers certain commotions. She don't know exactly what happened, but she still remembers some commotions of her mom being at the gas station and somebody hopping in the back seat with a gun looking for me.
Right.
Right? And she sped off. Gas flew everywhere. Like, that's traumatizing, bro.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
like, man, like what are you incarcerated for? Like, how much time you got?
So I'm incarcerated for murder, right? First degree murder, right, with gun enhancement and gang enhancement. I was sentenced to 50 years to life at 19 years old. Like I said, I've been currently incarcerated for 22 and a half years.
But
I know I don't look like it. I know I still look young.
I see the fade though. The fade looks nice though. I see.
Yeah, the glasses. I mean, you know, of course. Well, excuse me, first and foremost, can I get in there real quick? You know, hey, y'all know who I am. I'm Jerome Madison, right? Crowd life coach and consultant. Always, AKA the brother, right? This Larry and EB, man, Emmanuel Bracey, it's kindred spirits and shared values and goals and dreams, and I love it. You know, you're one of the greatest brothers I know. You know, And again, I just want to thank you. I want to thank our, all of our. Now, I'm not going to just call you our followers, our family, extended family members.
Right.
Because we share the same goals. And tell us a little bit about the work you do and why you're ready to come home and really make a difference.
Oh man, so I gotta go back a little bit, man. My experience in prison, right? Starting off at Pelican Bay State Prison and then going to New Folsom and Solano, right? Having that aha moment of like, I gotta make a change, right? I got a daughter that's 23 years old that I missed out on so much that like something gotta give, man. I be seeing dudes out there, fly and flashy, you know what I'm saying, and being in here, you don't get none of that. You don't get to see, right, your daughter graduate. You don't get to,
Right.
hug your mom like regular people do, right? So anyway, I made that decision that I wanted something better with my life, with my self-worth, with my self-love. I started taking self-help groups and getting some insight of why I was doing what I was doing, right? Changing my thinking. I'm currently a national certified alcohol and drug counselor. Hello.
Congratulations,
For real, man.
Congratulations, man. You know
I
what,
appreciate
Larry?
that, man.
Also, what? And then you also involved in Unity, right? We'll tell us a little bit about that if you don't mind.
With a GED and an AA degree, we also, as y'all know, because y'all my brothers part of Unity too, that's understanding, nurturing, and inspiring the youth. And what we do is we try to divert, right, the young people from making the same mistakes that we made by allowing them to explore, right, their feelings,
Right.
expressing them feelings and creating a safe place for them, right, and showing them how when your values don't align with your actions, this is the end result.
Facts.
Every time, right? So we get a chance to do that, right? Mentor them, right? Do some one-on-ones and get down to the roots and not the fruits.
That's right.
Because the behavior is just one thing, but it's why, right? The changing of our thinking that I had to do. And who better else than the people that's experiencing it in real time right now?
And don't you mentor newcoming officers as well?
Man, I do the new CO orientation, bridging the gap with a few brothers where we try to change the culture by bridging the gap and changing the narrative of how they see incarcerated people and how we can be coexisting right in this place. It's some of us versus them. It's
Right.
we, right? That humanity, even on the street, right? A lot of people, right? We doing what we do, but it's y'all over there and we over here. That's that same game mentality, and we not promoting that any longer. So when the new COs come in, we give them the real, you know what I mean, and try to guide them on their career path because they're doing public safety. That's what I want. I want my family, I want y'all safe out there.
Right.
And so when they come in, we try to highlight that they have the influence to be a positive influence in somebody's life every day that they come to work, make it a safe environment.
That's
I know, you got a board coming up, right? And I just want to know, like, if you could share with the public, with my viewers and my followers, how can you be an asset, to society and also these young niggas that's growing up, man, that have no guidance. It's like a blind leading the blind. Like, how, with your experience, how you feel you could be an asset to the community?
So I'm not gonna use the old cliche, get in where I fit in, but like I said, through lived experience and the education, to be able to role model for them what it looks like, right? Throw away 50 years of life and be able to get out there and be a positive influence in somebody's life, whether it's through drugs and alcohol, whether it's the lifestyle, because addiction looks different to everybody, right? But just showing up and being there, right? I'm ready. The work needs to be done. I got a lot of energy. I got a lot of knowledge. You know what I mean? So
I think Jerome got a question for you too.
You know what, man? I just again, I appreciate you and I salute you. And it's those same skills that you have right now that you're using in there that allow me to come out here and just be so different and unique, like Emmanuel.
Right.
Yeah.
And so many others out here. We're out here doing the work. You're right. Clinton Lacey coined it. Credible messengers with lived experience.
Yeah.
Right.
You're doing that work. But I want to ask you right now also, what's some of the things you can share with the parents? You work with the youth. You hear a lot of the trauma comes from the parents. What do you have a word of encouragement right now for the parents?
It's never too late. It's never too late to listen, right? To ask your child, what do they need? Because that's what it's about, right? It's about unmet needs, right? And we go with that and we start acting out in these certain behaviors. But even for the parents, right, to be encouraged that it's never too late to start working on themselves. They can start working on themselves and ask them questions about, hey, where has my traumas came from?
Hey, look, we got 60 seconds left, man. I just want to wrap it up. First, I want to say thank you, Larry. You know, man, you big bro, man. I love you, bro. I can't wait till you get out, man. We're going to live it up. But before I go, I got one question, man, in regards to freedom, man. What's free, in your opinion?
Man, free is the ability to make sound decisions on which is as much information that I can possibly take in, right? What is free? What's free is love, peace, kindness, gentleness, and consideration. That's free, right? Without having to be confined in a physical space or emotional space, right? Because a lot of people are incarcerated that's free, and there's people that's free that's incarcerated.
Right.
You know, one love. Hey, just believe, bro. Just because you're younger than me, you still my role model, bro. You're wrong.
All right.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I hope you didn't forget our handshake neither, bro. Hey, love you, man. Stay up, man.
For sure. Love you, man.
All right,
Stay
bro.
up, King.